Hi again, everybody. I'm Rob Rosenthal with AskTheLawyers.com, and here's another episode of Ask the Lawyer. Fighting the weeds in your lawn can be a difficult and frustrating experience, a battle, if you will, but it can also be dangerous to your health. And today we're going to ask the lawyer about the dangers with Roundup weed killer. Here to answer our questions is attorney Jason T. Brown of the law firm Brown, LLC in Jersey City, New Jersey. Jason, thank you for making some time for us today. I appreciate that.
Thanks for having me.
So what are the problems with the Roundup weed killer? What are we going through here?
Well, when you mention it could be dangerous, it's not just dangerous, it could be deadly as well. Roundup has an active ingredient called glysophate. And glysophate, way back to 1972, has been linked to some dangerous conditions, including lymphoma and leukemia. First, it was linked to it in mice, and now the studies link it to humans. So there's a lot of litigation presently about this Roundup glysophate cancer link that people need to be very conscious about. And this is a case not just about exposure to poison, but it's about choice and whether or not the consumer and sometimes the involuntary individual, and we could talk about that in a bit, should have the choice and be informed about the potential risks that Roundup has to somebody's health.
Well, you said it's been identified and been linked. I assume that Monsanto then knows that this product is in there. They know it's in their product, this chemical. And are they aware of the link, and have they done anything to fix that?
Well, yes, I would say they are aware of the link. The link dates back to 1972 when the product was first, I would say, studied with quotation marks. Because the initial study in 1972 by IBT, I don't think it's disputed at all that the scientists involved in that study were involved in long-term fraud. And they were actually nailed for that. And then in 1976, when they tried to do a different study about this, it was a study in mice. And guess what? The product was shown to cause tumors and cancer in the mice. So back 1972, they knew about it. 1976, they knew about it. They tried to jimmy and play with the EPA so they didn't have to be classified as a Class C carcinogen. For some reason, the EPA bought along with that. But when you look at the history of this product all the way back to 1972, we'd say certainly Monsanto was aware of it. And another symptom that Monsanto was aware about it is that they've kind of given up on the product. Bayer Pharmaceuticals purchased Monsanto, liability and all, and currently they're the ones who are engaging in the litigation defending this product.
But I was in my home store yesterday, Jason. I still see Roundup on the store shelves. Is it still the same product that they're selling?
Still the same product, still the active ingredient, glysophate, still the risk of causing cancer. The EPA just recently weighed in and fought with California. The state of California, wanted a label on glysophate saying this product is linked to conditions such as lymphoma and leukemia. The EPA resisted that. It says no, based upon the EPA's information, they think it's safe. But guess what? Every jury, or let me strike a footnote, most juries that have heard this, and they've heard weeks and weeks of testimony, have come up with verdicts in favor of the plaintiff when they hear about the link between Roundup and lymphoma. And
this the specific type of lymphoma we're talking about is Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Can you tell me just a little bit about that laymen can understand?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it's not just Non-Hodgkin lymphoma. That's one of the signature injuries that's linked to Roundup. But it's blood conditions, blood disorders in which the body's blood, it's cancer. It's not really producing things in the right manner. And our firm is looking at any type of lymphoma, B-type cell lymphoma, even Hodgkin lymphoma. Some firms are not even looking at. We'll look at any condition if there is long-term exposure to this product.
So you mentioned long-term exposure. Does it have to be long-term exposure before people see some detriment from the product, or can short-term exposure cause a problem?
Well, I personally wouldn't want to be near any poison for any period of time without proper precautions and guidance. Our firm, in terms of litigation and going the distance, if there is a case, it's generally ones that people who are unfortunately had long-term exposure to the product, people who have been diagnosed with lymphoma or leukemia, and there's just really two different categories of individuals. There's people in the industrial or commercial venues and sections. And when I mentioned these people may have involuntarily been exposed as a condition of employment, where if they were a farmer, if they were a groundskeeper, if they ran a greenhouse. It may not have been their choice at all to purchase this Roundup, and they've been exposed to it. And then there's the individual who's more casual, who does their own lawn. We'll look at both cases. Our firm is very selective in the cases that we ultimately litigate, but we certainly would try to help an individual who's been diagnosed, unfortunately, with one of these conditions and has had some degree of exposure to the product.
So what are some of the signs and symptoms that people should be aware of and know, and then go see their doctor? What are some things we should be looking for?
Well, it could be a variety of symptoms and signs. It could be listlessness, sweating, problems sleeping at night, easily bruising. One of the questions that defense attorneys love asking during the context of a deposition in some of these litigations is, who did you speak with first, your doctor or your lawyer? And we think it's critical to speak with your doctor first. If you have any conditions or any symptoms, you should definitely communicate them to your doctor and let them know that you've been exposed to Roundup for long-term or the period of time, so the doctor could then focus and narrow the questions about your medical history and also do blood work related to that to see if, unfortunately, you have any of these conditions.
Now, you've mentioned that there have been lawsuits, there are current lawsuits. If someone thinks they may be a victim of this, is it too late to get involved in litigation? What is the process?
Well, the litigation is pretty far along. I'm not saying it's too late now, but it may be too late a few weeks from now.
Okay.
And there's 18,000 pending actions. There's probably 3 times as many that haven't been filed, if not more. We strongly encourage individuals to contact our firm, Brown LLC. Our firm is actively have many people working on this case. But even if it's not our firm, we strongly encourage people to speak to any lawyer, because your rights are extremely time sensitive.
Jason, thank you so much. Some very helpful information. I appreciate your time today.
All right, thank you.
That's going to do it for this episode of Ask the Lawyer. My guest has been attorney Jason T. Brown of the law firm Brown LLC in Jersey City, New Jersey. Please take a moment and subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the button at the bottom of the screen. And if you want the best information about Roundup weed killer cases, or you're ready to choose a lawyer that lawyers choose, please visit AskTheLawyers.com. I'm Rob Rosenthal for AskTheLawyers.com. Thanks for watching.